Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. This video I'm going to give my review of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was a book that I read as part of Prideathon, June 16th to 22nd. This was a readathon created by Stephanie at Stephanie Bookish as part of her Patreon. Monique Grant is a journalist in her 30s. She recently started to work at a prestigious magazine. Her marriage is on the rocks and she's not happy where she is in her career. Monique has called into her boss's office. Her boss tells her that Evelyn Hugo, who is a very popular, albeit somewhat notorious actress, would like to have Monique interview her for a piece in the magazine that Monique works for. Evelyn Hugo hasn't given an interview in years. It would be quite the feat both for the magazine and for Monique to do this interview. Monique's boss is a little surprised at Evelyn's choice of Monique because Monique is new to the magazine, so she's at the bottom of the ladder. She agrees to have Monique do the interview. When Monique first meets Evelyn Hugo, she learns that Evelyn actually wants Monique to write her biography, and she's going to have a series of interviews with Monique to discuss her life. The story goes from there. Evelyn Hugo started in the movie industry in the 1950s. She's a complex, interesting character. I didn't always agree with the decisions she made, but I was always interested in her story. Monique's story takes a little bit of a backseat to Evelyn's, but I was invested in her story too. The book talks about the tightrope that a woman had to walk to be a successful actress in Hollywood, which is probably still true to some extent now, but she really had to kind of fit in a narrow range of behaviors, parameters. There is misogyny, racism, and homophobia in the book. There are some mild, spicy scenes, nothing really graphic at all. There is spousal abuse. There is an off-page threesome between 3 14-year-olds. There is an off-page abortion. There is death and grieving. There is a serious car accident. There are people with serious medical conditions. There are some queer relationships. There is one pivotal scene in the latter part of the book that didn't quite ring true for me. I found myself reading it for a while, going back and trying to convince myself that how it could work, and I never quite could convince myself of it. Not a huge deal, but just something that kind of stuck in my mind. It just didn't totally ring true to me. I love the book. I think that Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote beautifully in this book. I recommend this book for what it was like for someone to be an actress starting in the 1950s in Hollywood. A book with 2 complex, flawed, and interesting main characters. If any of the issues I mentioned are a problem for you, you may not want to read the book. Actually, the last thing I mentioned about there being a pivotal scene in the latter part of the book that it didn't quite ring true. I wouldn't say don't read the book because of that. Just some of the earlier ones where I mentioned content warnings. If the content warnings, if those are a problem for you, you may not want to read the book. I vacillated a little bit. I thought a little bit about what I should rate this book. Should I drop it to 4.75 or 4.5 because of that scene that didn't quite ring true to me? Ultimately, I decided to rate it 5 because that was my enjoyment of the book. I hope you're having a wonderful reading week. I hope you're having a wonderful week in general. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos.